seems like only yesterday that I built my very own personal rig. The RGB machine that's capable of not only crushing 4K gaming, but all of the video editing that's required for this channel. But now the time has finally arrived to take it apart and make it even better. And I've definitely made a few changes over the last 20 months to this machine, because yes, it has been that long I think since I actually put this together. Time really does fly, but I'm incredibly excited, or at least I was incredibly excited, to take it all apart and put it into a brand new case with some really exciting components. Now this has actually been in the works now for quite a few months, but it's finally come together thanks to Seagate, who were incredibly kind enough to not only sponsor this video, but offer you guys the chance to win the same super fast PCIe SSD that I'm actually using here to upgrade my own personal machine. So if you want a chance to win, stay tuned to the end of the video to find out how to enter. It's called the Firecuda 510 and it's all about speed and performance. I really think I'm a prime example of someone that really slams their storage, as I'm always installing new games, transferring large files, and I'm now working with professional Blackmagic RAW 6K video files. And for context, the project that I'm filming right now is likely to be around about 250 gigabytes just for this video clip that you're seeing now, and I think once you've added in all of the footage of the PC build, we're probably looking at around about 750 gigabytes. So you can see why I'm keen to upgrade my storage. The idea is to keep a few of my favourite games on the drive for super quick load times, and then use the remaining space as my working video drive, aiming to take full advantage of up to 3,450 megabytes a second sequential reads and 3,200 megabytes a second sequential writes. Once I'm done, I can then back up my rendered projects to my new NAS, which I'll be building a little bit later in the new studio. But upgrading the storage wasn't the only thing that I had in mind for this new rig. As it's a 4K gaming PC, we're going to need a serious bit of GPU horsepower here. So that's exactly what we've got. It was actually Asus that answered the call, and they've sent out the RTX 2080 Ti Strix, a card that's not only crazy powerful, but it's actually whisper quiet as well. I've been using the Founders Edition since Nvidia seeded my initial review sample, and it is one hell of a performer, but it was just a little bit noisy in my old configuration. You see, it was actually poor planning that meant that my old computer just wasn't able to handle the mighty 2080 Ti and the 10-core Intel 7900X CPU that I've been using to produce these videos. Corsair sent out their spec Amiga case, an H150i for the old build, which looked fantastic, but it didn't really work that well together, as while I absolutely adore the look of the case, it just didn't have anywhere near enough airflow to make the whole thing work. And I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit it, but I actually had the side panel off for probably the last year or so, as this was the only way to stop it throttling and bring the noise levels down to an acceptable level. And while we're talking about issues, I do want to say that firstly, this PC has been rock steady throughout the time that I've been using it. It's been fantastic. And the reason that I have been using the X299 platform is just because I know I can rely on it. There have been a couple of small hiccups, but honestly, especially in combination with DaVinci Resolve, which, I don't know, touch wood, there isn't any wood, it's over here, just doesn't crash. It's been super stable. But the motherboard itself, it doesn't have enough USB headers for all of the devices that I want to fit in here. It doesn't have enough USB on the back for all of the devices that I want to plug into it, despite me using things like USB hubs. And it doesn't have enough NVMe drive support, because I want to add loads of drives in here and get loads of storage because of all these stupid large files. I do see a motherboard upgrade coming. I will have a chat with Asus and Intel to see if we can get this a little bit more up to date in the coming months, but that will be coming obviously at a later date, so get subscribed to see a future upgrade. So this is definitely going to be a little bit of a project then, and something that I'm not going to be satisfied leaving untouched for another 20 months. And this is definitely made clear when you look at the new case, the somewhat understated Phanteks Luxe 2. And this case perfectly matches what I'm trying to do here, as it supports all of the high-end hardware that I can possibly throw at it, while allowing for great airflow and then support for custom cooling. It was Overclockers UK that sent this out, along with some addressable RGB strips, and at the moment it does look a little bit sad with far too much empty space at the front and bottom, but This will change very, very soon once I've kitted it out with some fancy water cooling. I probably should have mentioned that I've actually already swapped out the fans versus my old rig, as I was using Corsair's LL fans, which did look great and performed very, very well, but my favourites at the moment are the ML RGB, as they're super quiet and they've got huge amounts of headroom for cooling. Though I will say that because I'm using more than 6 fans, I now have to use 2 of the very clumsy RGB controllers, which isn't really a problem, but in a smaller case it really would look very cluttered. So a big thank you to Corsair for the hookup here, as well as for the white and black cables that I'm using in this new build. I'm definitely going to go for hardline water cooling. This will take place I think in a couple of months time, as soon as I've moved into the new... I need some water cooling. I'm thinking that right at the bottom I'm going to have one of those really fancy little reservoirs that makes the whole thing look pretty, maybe have some extra lighting in here. I'm really going to try and make this a little bit of a project that goes beyond just a normal build. I think it probably is time for the channel to get to that level, shall we say. If you do want to check out my build where I did a soft line tubing, you can find this in the top right hand corner. But if you want to see that hardline build, get subscribed and that will be coming hopefully very, very soon. The final piece of the puzzle for now is in the RAM department, and 32GB of RAM was definitely all well and good. But with the move to this cinema camera, I really wanted to step up my game. And it was really fortunate that I was recently working on a sponsored project with HyperX when I went to EGX last week. And they've actually offered to send out 64GB, yes, 64GB of HyperX Fury RGB for this build. So not only is this 3000 MHz kit going to be ideal for handling huge files all at the same time, but in combination with that 10-core CPU, it actually allows me to keep working while rendering videos in the background and hopefully gain around about 20 to half an hour of extra work time per day, which to me is quite a big deal. So a massive thank you to HyperX for actually supporting this build, but I know that you guys probably want to see the performance, and let me tell you, you are not going to be disappointed. Fire up any game at seemingly any resolution, and I really think you're going to be amazed at just how powerful, yet how quiet this PC can be. I use an ultrawide as my main display for gaming and work, but I've actually taken these benchmarks at 4K to make it a little bit more useful for you. I'll be honest and say that I very rarely use the ray tracing and DLSS features that's found on the RTX GPUs, but to their credit, they are there when you need them. When you're putting out 60 FPS in almost every single title at max settings in 4K, well, you've probably not got too much to complain about. It's fair to say that maybe you'd expect such a high-end rig to give you 60 FPS minimum across the board. But in the real world, you can of course turn down a couple of what I would describe as unnoticeable settings to get you closer to 100 frames a second in even the most demanding games, but of course this will depend entirely on what you're playing. The processor is actually a really great gaming CPU despite its high core count, and while the 1080p numbers do appear to be a bit bottlenecked in Far Cry 5, I can now overclock this CPU to around about 4.4 GHz without having any horrible fan noise, and I'd wager that my custom loop will go far beyond this, so really do watch this space. On the whole, I am incredibly impressed with not only what I've put together, how it looks, though there is room for improvement, but those improvements are things I'm going to have to put in myself, but also with just how the highest end PC hardware really doesn't have to be that loud. You only need to go back a few years ago and this really wasn't the case, but if you plan everything nice and carefully, you tune those fans, you maybe get a slightly better graphics card that has a better cooling solution, or you do a custom loop of course, then everything can be whisper quiet, whisper silent. That doesn't make any sense. Everything can be inaudible. There you go, that's the word I'm looking for. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on this, what you would do differently down in that comment section below. Don't be afraid, and I would love to hear your feedback. If you do want to check out current pricing on any of the parts featured, then you can with my Amazon affiliate links, also linked down below. And I'm probably sure that you guys want to enter the giveaway to win your own Seagate Firecuda 510 SSD. And it's actually really easy. Just follow me on Twitter, it's at PC Centric, and then retweet the competition tweet. Literally just follow me, retweet it, and as long as you do those two things, you can win, but you can find the full rules in the description below. A massive thank you to you guys for watching this video though. Please hit the like button if you've enjoyed it. It helps out so much you wouldn't believe. Do get subscribed for more videos just like this and the upcoming custom liquid cooled loop that I will be doing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.